Hey everyone, this is Mel, aka Symbolic, and today I'm going to be answering your questions for the Q&A video that I'm doing. So, let's get started. J Hearts Jonas wants to know, who is your favorite Disney princess? My favorite Disney princess is actually not one who's part of the official lineup, because she's too young, quote unquote. She is Sophia from Sophia the First. I just find her really, really relatable, and very cute too, so she's my favorite. How long have you been a Disney fan, and would you call yourself a Disnerd? I've been a Disney fan for several years, actually over 10 years. Not my whole life though. We didn't have Disney Channel when I was growing up, and I didn't watch a whole lot of movies when I was growing up. So I grew up on PBS Kids and Nickelodeon for television, and like I said, I didn't watch movies very much. But when I was probably like 9 years old, we had a VHS tape of The Lion King. Not the official one, but like a home tape that we'd taped The Lion King on when it aired. And my brothers and I watched it. They watched it and liked it before I did, and then they got me into it. So that was the beginning of my Disney fandom. And for a few years, I was just obsessed with The Lion King, and then we moved away from New York State to Minnesota, and we made these friends. There was like a whole family, and they were all our friends. And they and their grandparents had this humongous Disney VHS collection. And so we had a working VCR, so I started borrowing tapes from them, and sometimes I would borrow tapes from the library. And that is how I got what I called my Disney education. And so yeah, I just kind of fell in love with Disney from there. And yeah, I would definitely call myself a Disney. Disney is like my obsession. Okay, so do you know all the history, particularly around Walt's time, and any obscure facts, /movies, /shows, etc.? Yeah, I've actually read a lot about Walt Disney, and I have several biographies of him. So yeah, I know a lot about him. As for obscure facts, yeah, I know a few of those. The first one that comes to mind is unfortunately a really sad one. It's that one day Walt was like taking a walk through the woods, and he saw this owl, but it flew away from him when he got close to it. So he did manage to pursue it and catch it, but it fought him, and so he threw it on the ground and stomped on it, and it died. And he was so sad. He had dreams about that for a long time. And that seems really crazy to me, but according to the Bob Thomas biography, he did that. And also, Walt's favorite meal was chili and beans. He didn't really like fancy food or fancy stuff in general, he just liked simple stuff, because he was a simple country boy. So, he liked chili and beans and other simple foods like that. So yeah. There's one I learned pretty recently, and this isn't really about Walt himself directly, but the Walt Disney Company is the second biggest purchaser of explosives in the US, second only to the US military. I think that's really funny. It just seems so random. As for obscure movies and shows, I'm not sure. I have The Black Cauldron on DVD. But, yeah, I would, like, off the top of my head, I don't know. Anyway, so, next question. Do you have any pets? I have one pet, a cat named Oliver, and I've posted a few videos of him on this channel. So, yeah, you can just, like, go to my channel and search Oliver. You'll find them. I have at least 3, if not 4. I don't think you've mentioned this before, but what age are you? I am 22 years old right now. Alright, so Zachary Lunsford 2 wants to know, what's your favorite Disney Junior shows of all time? Obviously, I like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, because I'm always making YouTube oops to that. And as I mentioned before, I like Sophia the First. A lot. Deadmo5 wants to know, what's your favorite flavor of candle? It's funny, because I actually have kind of a collection of scented candles. I guess my favorite one would have to be lilac, probably. Partially because when I was a kid we had this lilac bush in the backyard and it smelled so nice. So I guess it just kind of brings back memories from my childhood. But I also like lavender, And I do like vanilla, but I think vanilla is kind of an overdone and overhyped scent. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, I like vanilla, okay. Some candles are lavender and vanilla. Those are really nice. Where were you born? I was born in Wellsville, New York State. Where do you live? I don't think I should give away my exact location, but I'll just say on the East Coast of the USA. What is your blood type? That's a random question. A positive. What's your favorite flavor of bread? Do you mean like everyday breads, like you would use for sandwiches, like white or wheat, whole grain, whatever? Or do you mean like flavored breads? I usually use honey wheat for lunch. As for flavored breads, I don't know, I don't eat them very often. I think cinnamon swirl bread is a thing, so I guess maybe that. Oh, I also like banana bread. I make homemade banana bread once in a while when we have rotten bananas and I have time. Banana bread's really good, and pumpkin bread is really good. My mom makes that for the holidays sometimes. Right, so, Musical Kittens wants to know, are you excited for Zootopia? When I first heard of Zootopia and saw the little sneak peeks of it, I was actually a little confused. My first thought was, how is this new and original and different? Because it's about anthropomorphic animals. And that's what Disney has always done with their cartoons, is anthropomorphic animals. So what's the big deal about this? Well, more recently I saw an official trailer for it. I bothered to watch the trailer. And it turns out it's actually a movie about discrimination. They think that the character Judy can't be a real cop or something because she's a bunny. Apparently bunnies can't be cops, which is a weird concept, but so I might see it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters. Probably not because it's more expensive, but maybe when it comes out on DVD, I'll rent it or borrow it from the library or something. Because yeah, after seeing the trailer and finding out what it's really about, rather than just anthro animals, yeah, I'm pretty interested in seeing it. So I guess I'll give my opinion later after I've seen it. Scarlet Jade wants to know, what are your favorite animes, if you have any? Fun fact, I am actually a really big anime fan. My top 5 favorite animes are Black Butler, Kimi ni Toroke, Non Non Biyori, One Week Friends, and K-On! I absolutely love all of these. I could never get tired of them. So those are all on Hulu, and if you like anime, you should totally go check them out if you haven't already. Those are my top few favorites, but there are a lot more that I like. I've got a whole favorites list on Hulu. Alright, so do you like Gravity Falls? I'm not a particular fan of Gravity Falls. I'm not even sure if I've seen a full episode of Gravity Falls. The thing is, I've been meaning to watch more of it because somebody said that it gave them hope for the new DuckTales that they're making. And so, you know, I'm pretty unfamiliar with Gravity Falls, Phineas and Ferb, etc., and all those popular Disney Channel shows. They're just not my cup of tea, I guess. But I should probably watch more so I can like kind of get a glimpse of what the new DuckTales might be like. I have seen some funny YouTube poops of it though. Those are really funny. Like, there's one called Dipper Makes Two People Go Insane on a Dark Day. I thought that was really funny. The Pretty Kitty 29 wants to know, what is your top 3 favorite Disney movies and top 3 favorite video games? Top 3 favorite Disney movies. That's a hard question. Sometimes people find out I'm a Disney fan and they say, so what's your favorite Disney movie? I have no answer because they're all so good and they keep on coming out with new ones and they're also really good, and I just don't know. I don't really have a favorite. But I do like the animated classics, and I love anything regarding Mickey and Friends. So like The Three Musketeers, the Christmas movie, DuckTales the movie, I love all of those. But I do not have 3 specific favorites. Anyway, so as for top 3 video games, I don't play video games as much as I used to when I was a kid. But I bought DuckTales Remastered in 2013 and I love that. When I was a kid, I used to play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on the PlayStation, so I like those too. And I'm sure I would like them just as much if the PS worked, which it doesn't, so I could play them again. Jaden Milbury wants to know, what made you want to make videos and YouTube oops from Disney? I guess it was just coming on YouTube, making an account, and watching other people's videos, and seeing how creative they were, and like seeing all the cool stuff you can do by editing videos. So yeah, it was just watching other people's videos. It made me want to do it too. Hannah Smith wants to know, have you heard about the new Mickey Mouse show on Disney Junior? You mean the Mickey Road Racer thing that they're doing? I can't remember what it's called, but it's going to be about racing. Yeah, I've heard about that, and I'll probably watch it. Well, actually, you know, it's Mickey Mouse, so I'll definitely watch it. Do you play Undertale? Short answer, no, I do not. I've heard of it. I've heard of Undertale, and I know it's like really, really popular, but I haven't gotten into it. And actually, one reason for that is that it would probably make my computer heat up a lot. Like, even DuckTales Remastered makes my laptop heat up to like 90 degrees Celsius. And that's pretty hot. That's like the hottest it's gonna go. So, I don't play a lot of video games on my laptop. Do you like waffles? I prefer pancakes, but waffles are good too. So, next question, what's your favorite day of the week? I have no idea. Any day that I don't work, really. I do like Fridays, especially Friday nights, like most people do. But for me, it's because my brothers and I will get together and like we'll watch silly videos on the computer, and then we'll stay up late watching TV, and we'll just have a grand old time. So yeah, that's always a lot of fun, so I like doing that. So, Bethany Tipton wants to know, what's your favorite Mickey Mouse movie / show / cartoon / whatever? I don't know. I don't have any favorites. I like The Sorcerer's Apprentice, and I like The Three Musketeers a lot. And I also like Linda Paw, and I like Mickey and the Seal. That was one of the first old Mickey cartoons I ever saw, because I saw it in House of Mouse. And I like the Mouseworks cartoon, Pluto's Kittens, even though that's technically a Pluto cartoon. It's got a lot of Mickey in it too, so that's one of my favorites. And I like Mr. Mouse Takes a Trip, and I like Mickey's Delayed Date. I can't choose just one, because like I said, there are so many, and I like all of them, so yeah, those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. And also, are you British? No, I'm not British. I was born and raised in America, United States. And my parents are American. Well, technically my dad was born in Canada, but his family was American. So, yeah. The reason I used to spell words like color and favorite with U's was that in my early days on the internet, I would see these British people getting really, really mad at Americans and saying, you spelled this wrong, you spelled that wrong, this is the only way it can ever be spelled ever, and I didn't want them to yell at me, so I just spelled it their way. But now I don't care. I think, you know, if other people's spelling of certain words is their only problem in life, they have it really good, and they just need to stop being petty. Boracua Christian 1279 wants to know, what do you think of the Mickey Mouse 2013 shorts? Generally, I love them. They're really funny, really creative, and very screen cappable. Screen capping is a thing of mine. It's kind of a hobby. So I've been meaning to screen cap them for a really long time, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I've taken a few, but not very many. So yeah, I generally love them. They're really, really funny. They're very clever, very creative. There is one that I don't like at all, and that's Spacewalkies. Because it's so crude and disgusting and disrespectful, and I mean, who in the world thought that it would be a good idea to put Mickey and the gang together with bathroom humor? I just find that disrespectful. That's just my opinion, and I'm not saying that it's this way as a fact, but I'm saying I don't like it, and I don't think it should be done. But other than that, the series is great, and I really like it, and I'm going to keep watching it. Related to the first question, what's your favorite short so far? My favorite short, I think right now, is probably one of the newer ones, the one called No. And that's because of all the cameos of other characters. Especially Scrooge and the gang. Scrooge and Huey, Dewey, and Louie are all in it. And you know, I thought it was the first time that Huey, Dewey, and Louie had ever been in one of the shorts. But just a few days ago, I found out that Huey, Dewey, and Louie actually have a very small, tiny, itty-bitty cameo in the beginning of the cartoon Black and White. They can be seen just walking in front of the movie theater at the very beginning. And you can only tell it's them because of their color-coded hats that actually kind of look bigger than they are, which is weird. But yeah, you can definitely tell that's Huey, Dewey, and Louie. What's your thoughts on Mickey Mouse's newest cartoon, Get a Horse? Well, I liked it enough to poop it, obviously, even though that was a request. I thought it was really cool that Disney just took the vintage Mickey Mouse and put him in CGI and then put him in the 21st century. So it's like, he's straight out of the 20s or 30s, but he pops through the screen and he starts like interacting with a cell phone. I just think that's really cool. Have you ever seen the deleted scene from Fun and Fancy Free where Minnie Mouse was almost added in Mickey and the Beanstalk? Wait, what? What? No, I've never heard of that. Holy crap, how have I not heard of that? Okay, well, I will have to look that up. I guess short answer, no, but I will look it up. I've never even seen that. I didn't know that happened, or almost happened, until I read your comment. Thank you for enlightening me. I appreciate it. Have you ever seen the Mickey Mouse's 60th birthday TV special from the 80s? Is that the one where somebody puts a spell on him so that nobody will recognize him, and so they think he's missing? Yeah, I've seen that. I watched it on YouTube. More than once, actually. What's your thoughts on Inside Out? Oh my goodness, you guys, are you sure you're ready for this? Because, okay, to put it plainly, Inside Out is my absolute favorite Pixar movie ever. Actually, it was my favorite before I even saw it. Because a few years ago, I was reading random Pixar stuff on Wikipedia, and I read something that said they were working on a movie about going inside the mind. And I was just like, whoa, that sounds really cool. I'm definitely going to see that. And so then, in 2015, last year, it came out and I went to see it and I loved it. It was so cool and so relatable. Riley Anderson might be my favorite Pixar character, like, ever, because she's so relatable. And also, like me, she moved away from Minnesota. I didn't have the same reaction and the same problems to moving away from Minnesota as she did, but it was still very relatable. And another thing I really like about Inside Out is the message of the whole movie, which is that it's okay to not be happy all the time. I cannot tell you how many times, especially in my teens, I was quite frankly bullied for not being all happy all the time. People don't like it when people are not happy and bubbly all the time. If you're upset about anything, people think you're boring, they think you're a killjoy, they think you're no fun, and they will just leave you and go off to do something fun with someone more fun. And then there's the kind of person, and this is a lot worse, there's a kind of person out there, and I've met a few of them, who make fun of people for not being happy all the time. I kid you not, I have experienced this firsthand. It's really stupid how the only emotion or state of being society can accept is pure happiness, nothing else. And basically, if you're not happy, you're a complete outcast. And I think that's wrong, and I think it needs to change. So, Inside Out's a really good movie for having that message. So, next question. What do you think of Mona so far? I don't know much about Mona yet, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool, and I'll definitely go and see it. Did you know that Disney is making a new DuckTales series next year? Yes, I do know that. Actually, it was announced a little over a year ago now. And I have mixed feelings about it because, well, number one, obviously I'm a huge DuckTales fan. So I am excited to see new adventures, including the DuckTales gang, and quite possibly learn more about some of my favorite characters. For example, I found out through a website that was referencing this really obscure comic that apparently Duckworth has a twin brother named Jasper. I really want to read the comic, but it's too obscure. So I really think it would be awesome if Disney decided to take that comic, just pull it out of the vault, and make an episode about it. And that way I could learn more about Duckworth's family background, maybe some of what he did in his youth, how he got to where he is now. And maybe even learn his first name. That would be really awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It'll just be really interesting to see what Disney comes up with for new episode ideas. And, they also could base some more episodes on the old comics by Carl Barks. And maybe even some by Don Rosa. You never know. Guardians of the Lost Library is a personal favorite. Disney, if you listen to this, take note. So, I'm also worried about it in case they mess it up. Obviously, every DuckTales fan is. And while most people's concerns are about the animation, I'm merely curious about the animation, voice acting, and stuff. I don't want them to make it crude like the new Mickey Mouse cartoons. I mean, yes, the new Mickey Mouse cartoons are funny, but if there were an episode of DuckTales that was crude in the way of, say, Spacewalkies, I just think that would be really disturbing. I mean, that and DuckTales together, they just don't fit. And, there was actually a fanfic similar to that once. The girl who wrote it is actually working for Disney TV now, but she's not working on DuckTales, so that's a huge relief to me. So yeah, I'm excited for the new episodes, new adventures, possibly learning more about my favorite characters, but I also want them to keep it as classy as the original series was, and respect the characters very much. Alright, so Borakiwa Christian 1279 also asked some non-Disney related questions. Which video game mascot do you like most? Mario or Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm not sure. They're both really good YouTube boot material. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I can't choose between the two. I'm sorry, I can't choose. What's your favorite video game series? It can be more than one series. I guess it would be the Need for Speed series. I mean, I haven't played that since I was a kid, and I haven't played very many games of it, so I guess if I had to choose a series, it would be the Need for Speed series. How do you feel about American animation studios doing only computer animation now? I think it's kind of sad. Partly because CGI is less screen capable than hand-drawn animation. Because with hand-drawn animation, you just get really crazy pictures if you screen cap a character in mid-action, but in CGI you get a blurry picture. And while blurry pictures can be funny too, but I like the ones where the character just looks crazy. So yeah, that's kind of sad, and also because hand-drawn animation just has this charm that CGI doesn't have. So yeah, it's just too bad that they're not doing hand-drawn animation. Even though I have nothing against CGI in itself. It's just, I just kind of wish we could have both. Both classic, traditional hand-drawn animation and CGI. But apparently we can't, which is really too bad. What do you think of flash animation? Assuming that's the type of animation they use for the new Mickey Mouse cartoons, I've heard it is. It's pretty good, I guess. The Mickey Mouse cartoons, like I said, they're really funny. And some of the pictures are really funny, so yeah. I don't know, I haven't studied flash animation very much, I don't know much about it. But in the Mickey Mouse cartoons, it's pretty good. So yeah. What's your favorite movie franchise, or franchises? Well, I really like all the Peanuts cartoons, and I like the Anne of Green Gables movies. If it counts, I also like the American Girl movies, but they're not like sequels or anything. I also like the Stuart Little movies quite a lot. So which one do you prefer, Narnia or Lord of the Rings, either books, movies, or both? I'm not really familiar with either, unfortunately. I guess they're just not my thing. I'm just not that into them. Pumpkin Pie Fish wants to know, favorite YouTube poop on your channel? As in favorite YouTube poop that I've made, I think that would have to be Mickey's Happy Mouse Poop, which has been my favorite ever since I made it. Mostly because of all the sentence mixing I did in it. If I can just say this, I think it's pretty awesome that I could sentence mix Clarabelle to say Carl barks. That was one of my favorite parts of the video. Sentence mixing is actually really easy. It's just a matter of finding the right words and the right sounds. Favorite Mickey Mouse YouTube poop? As in YouTube poops that are not mine, ones that I didn't make. There's this one YouTube poop called Mickey Power, and it's a really funny one. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. Favorite color? Purple. All shades of purple. Violet, lavender, whatever. I like purple a lot. Do you have a pet? Yes. I have an awesome orange cat named Oliver, and I have videos of him on my channel, so you should search for that if you want to see him. Favorite Mickey Mouse character to YouTube poop? I can't really pick a favorite. They each have something that makes me want to poop them. Music Lover wants to know, what is your favorite House of Mouse, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, DuckTales, and Mickey Mouse short or episode? It's very, very difficult, as I mentioned earlier, to choose a favorite from anything, really. But there are some episodes that stick out to me more than others. So for House of Mouse, that would be King Larry Swings In, Unplugged Club, House of Scrooge, and that's all I can think of off the top of my head. For Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, my favorite normal length episode is Minirella. I think it's either Minirella. For Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, it's I cannot get this right. For Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, it's technically an extended episode, but I really like Minnie's Winter Bow Show. I also like Minirella. I can't remember if that's a regular length episode or if it's an extended one like the Bow Show one, but I like both of those a lot, so those are my favorite 2 episodes of that. For DuckTales, I have no idea. Back to the Klondike is really good. That's a classic, and there's A Curse of Castle McDuck, and there's Micro Ducks from Outer Space, and yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. As for Mickey Mouse shorts, I like the famous ones like The Sorcerer's Apprentice and Linda Paw and Through the Mirror. And Mr. Mouse Takes a Trip was also really good. I also like The Brave Little Tailor. The Prince and the Pauper and Mickey's Christmas Carol are also really good, and I like Mickey's Delayed Date. And yeah, there are too many Mouseworks cartoons that I like for me to name. So yeah, that's it for the Mickey ones that I can name off the top of my head. So John Cariello, who requested this video, wants to know, do you hate Harry the Bunny? I don't know who that is, so I guess no, I don't. He also asks, do you hate Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? No, I do not. Quite the contrary, I love Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, even though it's a little kid's show. I own a lot of DVDs of it, not all of them, but a lot, several. And the thing is, I don't make videos, YouTube poops or otherwise, about shows or movies that I hate. I always take something I like, and I make something out of it. So, yeah. He also wants to know, do you hate Disney Junior? No, I do not. How old are you? 22. Do you like Oreos? Yes, very much. Also, do you hate PJ Masks? I'd never heard of that before this comment. I looked it up, and it says it's a kids show. So, no, I've never seen it, so I can't give an opinion. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. I just know it exists, and that's it. Well, those are all the questions. I had fun doing this. I hope you guys had fun listening to me ramble on. So, I'll see you guys later.